Greetings, this is Scotty Reed for the Black Talk Media Project. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to post podcasts to the Black Talk Radio Network. Let me pull up Black Talk Radio Network, which is the only black-owned podcasting and digital radio network. We have a service that only charges $10 per month for you to upload podcasts and for us to distribute the podcast to our subscribers, as well as send them out to our social media networks. Okay, so let's go. All right, the first thing that you want to do, let's go with podcasting. This is a free tool called Butt Broadcaster. You can Google this. There is a later version out, which is 1.16, but I prefer to use 1.13 because it records my podcast in stereo, whereas 16 will save your podcast as a mono track. And then you have to edit it, or there's a number of different programs you can use to turn it into a stereo track. But I just prefer 1.13 version of Butt. It's free. You can download it. As you can see here, you can set your different settings for podcasting. Let me go to podcasting. Again, this is 1.13. If you have 1.16, the latest version, then it may be a little different. Well, it is a little different, but I will record my podcast at a bit rate of 64 kilobytes. Some people want to do theirs at 128 kilobytes. That's larger file size. 64 is still CD quality, so you should consider that a lot of people with their smartphone internet plans, they have limited data, and you don't want large files to use up all their data. So you want to make your files as small as possible while preserving audio quality. So that's why I record mine at a bit rate of 64 kilobytes and a sample rate of 44,100. Again, channel stereo, and of course you want to save it in an MP3 format before uploading to Black Talk Radio. All right, so we use this also to do live streams for digital radio, but this is a video that is about podcasting. So I could just start podcasting right now by just hitting that record button. Of course, you're going to need a microphone for your computer. I use a mixer, a podcasting kit to record my podcast, but I also use it to do live streaming. You do not need equipment in order to produce a podcast, so in another video, we'll show you how to do that without using this sort of equipment. But okay, so this is how you can create a podcast without investing in a bunch of expensive software. So let me stop that. All right, so once you have your podcast, what you want to do, of course, is log in to Black Talk Radio. First, you need to register for an account. Once you sign up for the service, you give us a username and your email address. We will add you as a publisher, and you'll be able to log in and publish using your account. You'll also be given a profile page. So if you have any artwork, you want to have artwork, you want to have a description of your program, anything that you want to put on a profile page, okay? And also, you'll have a section for your podcast, but we'll show you how to add that later in this video. So here's the thing. Yesterday, we did a live broadcast, and we posted a promo for that live broadcast for a digital radio stream. Now, it doesn't matter if you're doing a podcast, you would make a similar post. This is what I recommend. I recommend that you put the name of your program, put a semicolon, and then put a title to the program. All right, that's just the best way to do it. You want people to know what the podcast is about. So you want to go with the program name, and you want to go with a title. All right, let me go ahead and click the edit button here so I can upload this podcast after I format it properly. So again, if you're doing live digital radio streaming, this will be your promo. If you will have your code to embed a media player, or you could just link to your profile page, which will have a media player for your live radio stream. So, but if you are podcasting, you don't need to worry about that. You just go ahead and put your title in, put your artwork in by add media. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Then you would make a description of what your podcast is about, make any links. I'm just removing this information that we post for the live when we do a live program. So you will put a description of what this podcast is about. If you like, you can add contact information, anything that you want to put. That's where you will put it. You definitely don't want to have this blank, okay? You want people to know what the podcast is about. It doesn't have to be a long paragraph or anything like that. It doesn't have to be a long article type post or something. You just giving a description of what this particular podcast is about. All right, so another free tool that you will use, this is important, is MP3 tag editor, also free, because you want to edit your tags so that when people listen to it or you upload it, let's say to a digital radio server, or someone subscribes to your podcast, you want that information for your program to show up in whatever podcast player they are using. All right, so I need to find the file from yesterday's program, find that podcast. Now, but we'll save it in whatever folder you tell it to save to. I engineer several shows. So I have like all podcasts. So this is a show from yesterday. That's the recording of the little podcast I just recorded at the beginning of this video. But this is the program. So I'm just going to right click it and I'm going to move it to my folder. You may not have to do this, but I engineer several different radio streams and podcasts. So I want to find the folder that I want to move it to. This is Tando Radio Show Podcast 2018. So I want to move it to that folder. Now I want to open up that folder. Now this is very important because we do track podcast downloads so that we can provide our subscribers with stats, monthly stat report, and we use a outside independent stat service, recording service. So, but this is very important. You know the name of your show, right? So you want your program, your file name, you don't want it, let me back up for a second. You don't want it to look like that, okay? Because we won't know what that is. We won't know what program it is, what podcast it is. So as you can see here, this is how you simply name it. This show was done yesterday on the 15th. So I'm just going to click on rename here after right clicking. I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to click here, right click, rename, right click, paste, and change that date. So that was the 15th. All right, now we want to make sure we have this highlighted, and what we want to do is enter the tag information, which is going to embed it in the MP3 player. So we're going to get the title, paste it there, the artist, which is Tando Radio Show. The album, you could just call it a podcast, but I just put 4 dots. Doesn't matter because we don't really have an album. Year 2018. The genre is talk. And now we want to add some artwork so that in the media player it displays, this is about branding. So this is my artwork. It is a 400 by 400 square image. It's recommended if you're going to export to iTunes and what have you, that it be 1600 by 1600. It doesn't matter, but it should be square. So we're going to go ahead and embed that. Then we're going to hit save, and it's writing the tag data to the MP3. Now it has saved the tag, so now we're done there. Now what we want to do is go here to add the media. We want to upload files. There is a 99 megabyte file limit. That is a mistake there. 1,000 megabytes is a 99 megabyte limit. 99 megabytes, you can do a 3-hour podcast at 64 kilobytes per second, 44,100 hertz, and you can be able to create a 3-hour podcast that's under 99 megabytes. Since we're unlimited uploads, we have to put a limit on that. All right, so now I'm going to find my file to upload it. And here it is right here. So we want to click on it, then upload it. And this was a 2-hour broadcast yesterday. But as you can see from some of the other podcasts, it has the images embedded in the MP3s. Now, it is very important that you pay attention here because we do not upload the MP3s and insert them into the post. It will embed a media player and people will be able to listen to it. They won't be able to download it, but they'll be able to listen to it. But also, we won't be able to provide you with download statistics. So it's very important to pay attention here and follow instructions. So once the file has finished loading, it'll give you the URL of the MP3. And as you can see here, all of the information we embedded through the MP3 tag editor has shown up, the cover art, the name of the file. We want to get the URL. So you left click, hold it down, drag it across to the end where it says MP3, right click, copy that. Then close this out. You want to go to the plugin for the podcast. We use blueberry.com's third-party statistical reporting service in order for us to gather stats and report those to you in monthly reports. So we're going to paste that there, right-clicked, and then just pasted it. We're going to verify the URL. It says media verified successfully. Now I can go ahead and hit publish, but if you're just making a podcast, you want to find your category, your show name in categories. As you see, this was a promo for yesterday's live stream, so that's already checked, but you will find your program name. Make sure that's checked. In the tags, you can put current events, news, whatever, is applicable to your podcast. And you want to also do a featured image. So I'm going to remove this image right quick just to show you how simple it is. So you're going to click on set feature image. You can either upload your file if your artwork isn't there, or you could do a search for your file. So I'm going to do Tando for Tando Radio Show to find any artwork or images we've uploaded related to them. And I'm going to choose what I want. So I want this one to be at least 400 by 400. It could be larger, but you're going to set the featured image. This is so an image and artwork is displayed when it goes out over our Twitter account, over our Google Plus account, as well as over our Facebook account down here. You don't have to do anything. That's going to be set automatically. All right. So now, instead of you seeing update, if you're just making a podcast, posting it for the first time, it will say publish. And you just simply click that button and it will publish it. Once it's done publishing, and I do suggest that you make sure everything is right before you hit that publish key button, because that's going to send it out. So before you hit publish, make sure everything is right. Okay? Do spell check, all that good stuff. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the post. And as you can see, there's the podcast. And it can be played in a new window. They can download it, or they can even get the embed code and share your podcast on their blog, and we'll still be able to record the stats and everything. But if you do not do it this way and use the Blueberry plugin, all it's going to show is a media player like this one. It won't have the play in new window. It won't have the download. It won't have the embed. It won't tell them how long it is, how large the file size is. It won't give them any of that information. And most importantly, we won't be able to tell you how many people downloaded your podcast. All right, it's that simple. So if you are interested in podcasting for a African American or African diaspora audience, please join us. Sign up for a description. We have unlimited podcast hosting and distribution. This is the Black Talk Media Project signing off.